about the Triad of Change, and I'm just going to give an overview of the Triad of Change, which is one of the tools that we work here with you in your wellness journey. So the Triad is a way that we can look at the congruence between your structures, your behaviors, and your perceptions. So that becoming a triad that together create a congruent way of living. So the structures would be the form that something takes, or the form that something exists in, and it's frozen as a picture. You might imagine a structure frozen as a picture in your mind. The way that we look at structure is the alignment of your spine and the way that you have things set up in the order of your body as far as your structural integrity. So the structures also you can look at it in your life are what form does your life take. The structure, your relationships can be seen as structures. Your finances can be a structure. Your work is a structure. Any part of your life, you can find the structural components to that area of your life. And that's the first piece. The second piece we can look at as perception. So perception is the meaning that you give to something, the way that you feel about it, the feelings that are involved when you relate to that area. How we use that in your care here is we look at your perceptions about your life, your quality of life questionnaire that we fill out and see, how are you interpreting the changes that are happening? How are you perceiving your life and the meaning that you're giving to things? So the perceptions, you can look again in the different areas of your life and see, how am I perceiving things? And then the third side of the triad is behaviors. So behaviors are the actions that we take, the movements, the motion. And we look at that in your spine and in your nervous system as the range of motion and the waves moving through your spine, and also how the processes of either health or disease or wellness and reorganization, how are those behaving? What is the movement of those processes? So we want to see the behaviors and the structures and the perceptions line up and be congruent, be in an integrity. And what that looks like when it's not in integrity might be more obvious. We may have really lofty perceptions and be in this, this state of just this elated state of loftiness as a perception, but the actual structure of your body or the structures of your life are very rigid and very constraining, and there's not a lot of freedom there. And so as an escape, you'll go to a higher perception. Well, what we want to see is that there's an integration, that those high perceptions can be integrated with a structure that is congruent to them, and with behaviors then that link those two together so that there's real integrity, congruence, and coherence in life, in your body structures and in the different areas of life. So it's a wonderful tool. I invite you to look into it and see, what are the behaviors that I have here? What are the structures? What are the perceptions? And are they congruent? And what order of life are they congruent for? And how can I raise that to a higher standard in all three areas? So that's just an overview of the beginnings of looking at the Triad of Change.